Welcome to the iPhone 13 Pro unboxing. Hello. So here we have this iPhone 13 Pro in this new Sierra blue color, which I'm not gonna lie, wow. I'm a big fan of these subtle blue colors that Apple have been going for this year and last year. But I mean, look at that. Just look at it. It looks so good. Anyway, that's the phone. By the way, this box, like last year, doesn't have a power brick in it. So yeah, deal with it. If you don't like it, I don't like it, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. I'm not a fan of this decision. But they did remove the plastic from the phone, so that does kind of show their eco-friendliness. Then you have a USB-C to Lightning cable, and then you kind of have the information and stuff, and that's pretty much all there is in the box. USB-C to Lightning, my problem with that is no one else really has USB-C power bricks, so it's a bit odd, but you know, it is what it is. But in terms of the phone, here it is, looking clean. This is the iPhone 13 Pro in all its glory, and the reality is, like right off the bat, is it's not a big change from the 12 Pro whatsoever. It's a really small change. It still feels the same in the hand. It's a very similar phone. There are a few differences, and I'm gonna go through them in my first impressions later on in the video. But overall, there's not too much to it. It's kind of more of those subtle little updates, more of a 12S Pro. But just because it's very similar to the 12 Pro isn't necessarily a bad thing. The 12 Pro was overall a very liked phone, and you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that kind of goes here. But to kind of paint you a picture of what it feels like in the hands, it's like holding the 12 Pro. It's still a really heavy phone. The 13 is still a very light phone, just like the 12. And by the way, the 13 unboxing and impressions are coming out tomorrow, so you know, subscribe for that. Now, the first thing I noticed straight away is the 120Hz display, which I will talk about a little bit more later in the first impressions section of the video, but basically it makes the phone feel really smooth and really fast. And it's an industry standard at this point, and Apple finally added it, and it's great. In terms of the build, just like last year, we've got a squared up designed stainless steel and glass build that feels very nice. It's quite a heavy phone, like I said. Kind of like a brick of steel with a really nice matte blue finish, but also an ugly notch. If you haven't noticed yet, we're also getting this slightly smaller notch on the top for no reason whatsoever other than just, you know, to kind of make the phone look a little bit different, a little bit newer. Which I guess is nice, but functionality wise is kind of useless. But overall, a really nice phone to hold and even look at from the back. But I do love that frosted finish and that Sierra blue color. Wow. Now, diving deep into the first impressions, firstly, this is a very similar phone to the iPhone 12 Pro. If you have the 12 Pro, right off the bat, this is not worth the upgrade. They're just way too similar. If you have any concept of value for money, then this is not worth another extra £1,000 or dollars. So that's, you know, first and foremost, just to kind of give you a rounded off idea of what it's like, on top of the things that I'm about to say. So then, on top of this, what are the differences? Let's list the differences one by one. So looking at the display, the first thing you have is a smaller notch in the top. Does it offer any functionality? No, not at all. It's just a design thing, and it just looks very slightly different. And then also the earpiece is slightly redesigned as well, so that's just another small design thing on the front of the phone. But then in terms of the actual display, you're getting 120 Hz. This is the biggest difference in the display, and it's actually a really good difference and something that I'm personally really excited about, because what does this mean? Well, firstly, a few fun facts. 120 Hz is now an industry standard in smartphones for pretty much all smartphone displays. So Apple are a little bit late to the game, but why is it an industry standard? Why is it so good? Why am I excited about it? Why should you be excited about it? Well, 120 Hz means that the screen refreshes 120 times per second, as opposed to what was on all the previous iPhones, which was 60 Hz. So having said that, it makes sense that with 120 Hz, because it's refreshing more times, it feels much smoother when you're scrolling through, and it feels more lifelike, I guess you can say, and less digital. So it's just a feature that kind of enhances the experience, makes it feel more premium, more fascinating, more satisfying, and it's just a nice little addition to increase the quality of a phone. And on top of that, it makes the phone feel much faster. Talking about speed, though the 120Hz may be an illusion of speed, this phone is actually faster, so that's another addition that we have here, because they now have the Apple A15 Bionic chip, which is a 5nm chip, and there's not too much to say about it. And the thing is, it is really powerful for the phone anyway. Like, you don't need this much, but having said that, like, this phone is good to go, and it should last a while, but who knows how future-proof it's gonna be. But this is a beautiful chip, and it can handle a lot, and it can handle things such as cinematic mode, which is a feature in the cameras, which is something I want to add now. A big difference, one of the biggest differences this year, are the cameras. Design wise, if you look at the back, the camera bump is much bigger than on a 12 Pro, and that's because, well, the cameras have been completely remade, redesigned. They're larger sensors now, and I've briefly had a look at them, and I like them. In combination with this A15 Bionic processor, it allows for things such as cinematic mode, which is basically like portrait mode but in videos. Plus it has a few other smart features, like if you turn your head away to look at somebody else in a video, then it changes the focus to that other person, and when you look back at a camera, it changes the focus back to you. So things like that, just, you know, in combination with a good camera and a good processor. In terms of the specs of the cameras, they're all 12 megapixels, the main, the telephoto, and the ultra wide, and the telephoto is a 3x telephoto, so there's 3x optical zoom. And a little fun fact about the ultra wide is it can now shoot macro photos, meaning you can take the ultra wide camera really close to a subject and it will still be in focus. You can get those really small, fine close-up details. And then on top of these cameras, you have a LiDAR sensor, which has been on many previous iPhones. It's basically just a depth sensor, so it gives the phone an idea of depth. It helps the phone with AR and portrait mode and that kind of thing. Now, any other differences? Well, yeah, a final one. It did say it has 1.5 hours more battery life than the 12 Pro, but these are first impressions. Like, I can't tell you that. You have to wait for the review to find that out. Will it be better? I'm not too sure, considering that the display is now 120 Hz. That could cost the phone more battery, especially with the new cameras and things like this. I'm not quite sure how it's going to hold up, but iOS does have really good optimization where it kind of handles the battery life really well within the software, so you end up actually having a decent amount of battery life for what is a relatively small battery, which is 3,100 milliamp hours, which is way lower than the industry standard, but that's okay because Apple have that really good optimization. So I'm guessing you're gonna get around 6 hours of battery life, which is okay. It's good. Like, it's not bad, but it's not amazing, you know. Also, something I want to add is, because I'm an Android guy, when I come back to the iPhone every year because the new one comes out and, you know, I want to review them, I get reminded of the iPhone experience, which, even though I love Android, it's still not there. iPhone have a different level of fluidity and optimization in their software. It feels very nice when you use an iPhone, and it looks very nice, and it's so refined. And I say it every year because I forget about it and I come back to it and I love it, and it's something I wish Android could have. And if you're not an iPhone person, telling you as a fellow Android user, first impressions wise, and, you know, from experience of past iPhones, the software, while there are the limitations of the software that you don't have in Android, the software still does have this really positive, refined, optimized edge to it that really honestly makes it a joy to use, because all the software, all the apps are specifically designed with the iPhone look and rules and principles in mind. So all the software kind of seem like they're developed by one developer, and it adds this very unified experience within the entire phone, which is very good, because the consistency makes it really professional, refined, and fun, and kind of just nice to use. But guys, other than that's pretty much it. There's no other changes. If just to sum it up, it's processor, cameras, and display. So that's all I can tell you about it for now. First impressions are first impressions, but I will have a much deeper analysis for you in the full review. So, do you know what you gotta do to do that? Take a guess. Did you guys subscribe? Yeah, you should do that. You should subscribe. You hit that button. I'm waiting. You done? Good. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, though I did just ask you, so you probably did. Give this video a like and comment for the sake of the algorithm as well. And check out my Instagram at El-Naggar, because I'm posting a lot in there. You get a behind the scenes perspective, you get to see what I'm doing, what videos I'm posting next, that kind of thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Salam.